Hello everyone. Are you going through a dire situation at this time? Please know that God will make a way. Would you like to learn more? Keep watching. Everyone, how are you and your loved ones? Share with you how I survived a difficult circumstance. Then we talked about how pain is such a difficult not but in the midst of that, I was actually feeling that I cannot promise anything. But hello everyone, how are you and your loved ones doing at this time? I hope all is well with you. My name is Modipe Bakari and I'm happy to be back here again to share with you how I survived a difficult circumstance through God's grace. As always, we would like to start by saying a big thank you to everyone who has watched our videos, who has shared, who has liked, who has sent us a comment. We appreciate you. We are glad that you're watching and it's encouraging us on this journey. Before I introduce today's topic, I would like to do a quick recap of all that we've been talking about since we started the channel. First, we explained how we got the name Breeze from when we saw God's amazing grace when we were trying to recuperate from a gunshot surgery. Then we talked about how pain is such a difficult emotion and how we have to intentionally focus on hope and not despair when we're going through pain. Last week, we talked about delays and the fact that delays do come. We have to spend some time in the waiting room, but we have to ensure that while we are there, we rest. We do all we can, then we rest, trusting that God will perfect everything and make it beautiful in His time. Today, I would like to talk on what I call God will make a way. And God will make a way came to my mind when I was thinking about when I was going through a really difficult and tough time in my career and how God showed up for me. So I would like to share that story with you today. There was a time in my career where I was wrongly accused of violating the company's policy and I was going to be dismissed because of this fact. So there was an allegation from outsiders that there was a suspicion of unfair dealings in a transaction that was done on behalf of the company when I was in a sensitive role, and the investigative unit were already drawing the conclusion that the facts that were presented in the memo were right. In my opinion, I think this is possible because they were in a hurry to conclude because the allegation came through the highest seats in the office and they wanted to ensure that they closed the case as quickly as possible. So I was going to be asked to leave. This was such a very difficult time for me. And I remember every time I would get home and I would be worried and confused and afraid. But in the midst of that, I ensured that I always spoke to God, because I knew there was no one else who could make a way for me but Him. So in my fear, in my confusion, in my pain, I always just spoke to Him, just stayed lying. I just always just found the space to say, God, please, I need your light. I'm going through such a dark situation right now. Please show up for me. That wasn't because I wasn't talking to anyone else. I tried to talk to colleagues. I tried to talk to my friends. However, I was getting the feeling that either they felt I did what they said I did, or they felt that the outcome would be what the outcome would be and I should accept it. Actually, some of them were already advising me that the loss of a job is not the end of the world, true, and that I should look forward to starting life afresh outside the company. I kept on praying. In spite of all the pain, the confusion, the not knowing where to turn to, I kept on praying. Now the process went on for 2 to 3 weeks, and I remember it was a week before I was supposed to go on holiday, so I planned to go on holiday. And I prayed to God that weekend and I said, God, I'm going on holiday next week. I don't want to go on holiday for 2 weeks, not knowing if I was going to come back to a job or not. Could you please really make that way now? I need you, please, I need your light. So I prayed. That's a recurring theme here. There's nowhere else to turn to sometimes. You just have to keep telling God, keep knocking, please keep asking Him to show up for you. That Monday, a senior colleague who I had worked with in the past came by and told me that the person had just resumed from a vacation and the person thought to come check on me. Now, this was strange. I'll tag it divine intervention. I'd worked in the company for 10 years. I'd worked with this person 3 years before that time. And not once had the person come to me personally to say, I'm just here to check on you. We would meet in all way. We would meet in meetings or company functions and share pleasantries. But not one time had the person come to me personally. And because I was overwhelmed, I just asked, please, you have some minutes? And the person said, I have some minutes. And then I went and I just onboarding. This is going on. And I'm already getting feelers that they're drawing conclusion. In fact, no one is talking to me anymore. And at some point, the senior colleague said, the head of the investigative unit is my peer. So I could put in a word with him and ask him to listen to you. I can't promise anything, but I can at least get him to listen to you. And I said, that would be nice. And I went back to my desk that day and I still said, God, I don't know why this happened, but please make a way. I kept on with my prayer. And that week, maybe that day or the next, I can't remember, I got an calendar invite to come to speak with the head of the investigative unit. To cut the long story short, that was the turning point of the course of the investigation. I started my career in the investigative unit of the company. So I went there even with some advice. Oh, I recommend you could do it like this, you could do it like this. We could unravel a lot of things. You could be able to recommend, improvements to the way, the policy or the process, all of that. I said my piece and I went. So when God gave me my chance, I said my piece and I went away. And the Friday before my holiday was starting, the head of the investigative unit sent me a draft report. And the summary, I cannot forget that summary. The highlight of the summary was that Modupe did all that she did in the best interest of the company. Yes, God made a way, and He does that. I'm sharing this story to encourage us that no matter what we are going through, where we don't have any help, where we don't see help from man, from friends, from family, from anywhere, from our work, there is always God. And He's always there. He's faithful. He makes a way. So please call on Him. Ask Him for help. He will show up for you, no matter how difficult, how confusing it is. God is watching out for you. He has His eyes on you, and He will make a way for you. If you've enjoyed this video, please let us know. Please like, please comment, please share with your friends. Until the next episode, don't forget, God will make a way, and God loves you. Bye.